Are you looking to understand the different types of keyword match types, what they are, what they do, and how they affect your account? Well, in today's video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what keyword match types are, why they're important, and how to use them inside your account. So first off, what is a keyword? And a keyword is a phrase or actual word that you can bid on inside Google Ads for your ad to show up. So an example of this could be HVAC services. We could have our ad pop up for that particular keyword. This is really great for a lot of businesses because you can put your ad and really your business in front of a whole bunch of people who are looking for a particular product or service that really have high buying intent behind their searches and will likely lead to a sale or a purchase from your business. Now, why are these keywords actually important and why are there different variations of them? Well, way back when Google actually had one type of keyword where you could actually just bid on exactly what you wanted your ad to appear for. So if you wanted to only appear for pool installation near me, you could use the exact match type and your ad would only show up for that. The issue with that was if you added an S or someone added an S in like the actual search terms, your ad would not pop up. And this is very time consuming to go through and add every single variation of the word. Google found that it was really limiting its advertisers and the potential customers it could go after. Now, why I bring this up is because Google has essentially done away with exact match, meaning exact match. It's now gone to exact match kind of means the same meaning. So you can add an S, you can add a comma, whatever you want to add, provided it's the same meaning, it's still going to go after it. Now, the reason I say this is because these different match types have essentially a wider net on each of them. So exact match is the strictest. It's going to go after essentially keywords that have the same meaning. Phrase match is going to go after somewhat of the same meaning or implied meaning. It's a much wider net than exact match, and broad match is going to be the widest net. So your ads can pop up for literally anything that is somewhat relevant to the keyword you typed in. If you want to appear for the keyword HVAC services and you put it in broad match, your ad could pop up for HVAC services tips and tricks or HVAC DIY. It is a very wide net and it needs to be used carefully. Now, it's important to note there's many different types of Google Ads campaigns. The main two are e-commerce and lead generation. Lead generation means that you're trying to get high quality leads into your business to then make a sale to. E-commerce is you're generally selling a product online. Now, all of these match types could be used with essentially each of these campaign types, and really you could still have success. What I'm going to point out in this video is what match type is generally more useful with what campaign type. Now, to start off, we're going to take a deep dive into broad match, and I'm going to put up a little graphic here on the screen. And as you can see, for the keyword low carb diet plan, so if we put that into Google and we said we want to appear for this ad and we leave it in broad match, and by the way, if you want to put a keyword into broad match, just don't put anything around it. Don't put parentheses, don't put brackets. Very simple to do. Just put it into your Google search keywords and it will pop up as this. Very simple to do. But as you can see here, we can pop up for carb-free foods, low-carb diets, low-calorie recipes, Mediterranean diet books, low-carbohydrate dietary program. All of these things are very, very vague and they kind of relate to a low-carb diet plan, but as you can see, it is not exactly what we're going after. Now, can broad match be used to great effect? Absolutely yes. Generally, when you're using broad match, you have one of two things. One, you're either in e-commerce, or two, you have a sizable budget where you can allow Google to collect a whole bunch of data and essentially just go after whatever it wants. We don't generally use broad match in lead generation because the actual keywords it can go after are very low buying intent, and you can see keywords pop up like HVAC DIY, pool installation DIY, stuff like that that shows very low buying intent. And if someone were to call you from this keyword, generally they're not going to lead to a sale. However, in e-commerce, it's the complete opposite. We really don't care where a sale comes from or what keyword it comes from. Honestly, it could come from HVAC DIY. As long as we make the sale online, we don't care. Google's very good at finding keywords that a normal human would assume that, hey, there's no way this is going to convert, and then converting them, doubling down on it. Because it's an AI, it has no biases, which is really nice, and it's really, really good at this. However, it does need a whole bunch of data to do this correctly, so generally when you're using broad match, you need to have a decent sized budget for Google's AI to figure all this stuff out. So I really do like using broad match if you're going to do an e-commerce strategy, or if you're doing lead gen and you really don't care where the leads are coming from or the lead quality, you just want as many as possible. Broad match is also a good strategy. Now, the second type of match type is phrase match. And phrase match is a nice in between of broad match and exact match. And essentially, what we like to use it for is one, staying still somewhat strict around the keywords we're going after, but also allowing Google Ads to find new keywords and allowing the AI to try and grow and give us new ideas on keywords that we could bid on that are potentially lower cost than the current keywords we're bidding on, which is nice to help bring down the overall cost of the account. As you can see here for the keyword tennis shoes, if we wanted to target tennis shoes, our ads could show up shoes for tennis, buy tennis shoes on sale, red tennis shoes, comfortable tennis sneakers. Everything is very strict around tennis shoes. There's not additional words that are popping up like you saw in broad match. It's much stricter than broad match, but still not as strict as exact match. And really, phrase match can be used in almost every account to great success. E-commerce could use it. Lead generation could also use it. I like to use this keyword specifically in lead generation for finding and growing accounts. I think it's a very good strategy. You could also use this in e-commerce. I think that would be a great plan as well. If you have a limited budget in e-commerce, but you still want to grow, find those low cost keywords. I think phrase match is really an awesome match type for almost any account. And as you can see here, your ads won't show up for tennis rackets and training shoes because that's a different meaning and Google's AI recognizes it. Now, one thing I should mention about phrase match is that you are still going to get keywords that you don't want in the account, and you're going to have to go into your search terms report, find those keywords you don't like and you don't want to bid on, and add them as negatives just so your ads no longer show up. That way you can save money in your Google Ads account and spend the money elsewhere so you can make more money in the future. The third type of keyword match type is exact match. And exact match is the strictest of the bunch. It used to mean only show our ad if it exactly matches us, but it has now changed because Google saw some issues with that. And really, it only goes after the same meaning. And here in this diagram, as you can see from Google, if we were bidding on the keyword and we wanted to show our ads for shoes for men, our ads could show up for shoes men, men's shoes, shoes for men, very closely related. Essentially, all of them have the same meaning, and our ad wouldn't pop up for super vague terms that we were going after. Now, one thing with exact match is if you're going to do an account in all exact match, you're probably going to need more keywords because it is quite limiting. That way you can get more search volume. The second thing with exact match is you also need to still go into your search terms report and add those negatives and make sure you're not bidding on keywords you don't want to bid on. You're still going to have search terms and your ads are still going to pop up for potential search terms that you don't want to appear for, but it's going to be less than phrase and broad match. So that's kind of nice. Now, where can you use exact match types? And you can really use them in e-commerce and lead gen. I see them more in lead gen because you're able to go after those high buying intent keywords like HVAC services near me, like fencing near me, stuff like that that really shows high buying intent, and you can really customize your ad for that particular search term. You could also use this match type in e-commerce. I see it less used, but if you have a smaller budget, I think you could still use this to great effect in e-commerce. I just see it more so on the lead generation because people really care about buying intent, not so much on the e-commerce site. A sale is a sale, like I said before. Now, the final match type I'd like to go over is negatives, and most people don't consider this an actual match type. I consider it a match type, and I think it's important to go over when you're talking about keywords because a lot of people don't use negatives, and they're super important. Like I've been saying in this video, you have to go into your search terms report and make sure you're not actually bidding on keywords you don't want to bid on. And the best way to get rid of these keywords is to use negatives and to add them to your negative list. That way your ads no longer appear for those specific search terms. This is the best way to increase results very quickly inside of your Google Ads account and will really help you long term. An interesting thing about negatives is you can add them in the broad match, phrase match, and exact match types. Each of them will have different effects on the actual ad's capability of appearing. If you leave it in exact match as a negative, your ad will only not appear for that exact specific search term, so that's important to note. Most of the time when we use negatives, we put them in broad match or phrase match to really expand and make sure we don't appear for those types of ads. That's just something important to note. Now, as I've been mentioning in this video, it's very important to optimize your account, and that's why we created the Google Ads optimization checklist. It's completely free and it walks you through what to do every week, month, and 3 months in your Google Ads account. It's an awesome checklist, and really, if you're in Google Ads, I really suggest you have some sort of checklist. You don't need this one, but it's a really good reference if you're going through accounts on a weekly basis. Sometimes I forget too, like, hey, did I check this? It's just nice to have back as a reference and really to just make sure you're doing everything and optimizing everything correctly. So the link for that is down below. Again, it's completely free, and I really do love this checklist. It's awesome. Now, I do have one final thing to answer, and that is, what is the difference between a search term and a keyword? I get asked this all the time. And a keyword is the actual keyword we want to appear for. So It may be HVAC services near us, and I use that example a lot. The search term, and the reason I save this to the end is because as we saw with broad match, phrase match, and exact match, just because we want to go after a specific keyword doesn't necessarily mean our ad pops up for that specific keyword. It can pop up for variations of that. Those variations are considered search terms. So to keep it simple, the keyword is what we're going after, the search term is what we actually appear for. And as you've seen with broad, phrase, and exact match, that could be very different in all three of these cases. But I wanted to answer that question because a lot of people ask me, and just to clear that up, that's the main difference between a keyword and a search term. Now, if you are looking to generate leads for your own business, we have a lead generation video. I would consider checking it out. I'll leave a link up below. I think it's a great video, and we walk you through what match types we use, what ads we use, what campaign setups we use. I think it's an awesome video, and I think you should check it out if you're interested in setting up a lead generation campaign for your business. Now, I do have one massive favor to ask you at the end of this video, and that is for you to leave a like. I put so much effort and time into these videos, and I really do enjoy doing them. And with you liking these videos, we get a whole bunch more views, and really, it's awesome, and I really do appreciate you guys liking these videos. Thank you in advance if you do choose to like the video. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, leave a comment down below. I will do my best to answer it. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful day and take care.